what are some things you learned from other figures like Owen Cook?
Owen's a really good friend of mine, and I recently just came back from his house in LA, and I'm really, my heart goes out to all the people in LA at the moment. I've got so many friends. It's like a second home to me there. I absolutely love it. One of my second homes. And I was staying in, he actually gave me his room. He was away and he gave me his room for 10 days. He's got another place and he would come in and chat to me and so on. Every now and then we'd hang out and go to clubs and so on. And, what I learned from him is his outlook on life is always positive. He's always trying to be positive. He would always have another idea of how you could do something in such a positive aspect. The guy can talk forever. He's brilliant. He could just talk forever, and yeah, he doesn't let any of sticking points get him down. He just keeps going at it, and he's he's built a big community as well, which is good for the pickup scene. And so for me, if I'm going to boil it down to anything, it's his positivity. I love it. I love his positivity.
100%. Yeah, that makes a
But
lot of
obviously,
sense.
his head is totally coded with pickup, totally coded. So he's one of the old school for me.
What's your perspective on the red pill thing?
You know, I only really learnt what that was when we were getting interviewed for a documentary for Amazon Prime, which we have two on there, by the way. And I said to the woman interviewing us, who was following us around the world for 3 years, I said to her, "What is this red pill?" And she had to explain it to me, and I still probably don't know the bullet points, but I guess it's being negative towards women. Is that what it boils down to? How would you
Um,
boil it down to me?
some people associate it with that, but essentially my understanding of it is it's taken from the metaphor used in the Matrix. There's red and blue. The blue pill is ignorance, ignorance is bliss, and the red pill is I would prefer the knowledge and how I can use that for my life. So according to Rollo Tomasi, who's considered the founder of Red Pill, I guess,
Yeah.
um, it is basically the understanding of intersexual dynamics, blah, 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 and what you can do with that information to actually improve your life. I'm kind of butchering it a little bit, but
Cool.
where I think there's a lot of content there are a lot of red pill podcasts and stuff like that, and they interview women, and some of these women tend to have like OnlyFans and whatever, and then they just grill the women, and that has become this whole popular thing now. But yeah, it's kind of uh, I had a better way of putting it before, but it's attempting to, or at least Michael Sartain had a great way of explaining this. Pickup is offense, and red pill is defense, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like getting women, that's pickup. Keeping a woman or something along, or choosing the right one, maybe that's red pill, something along those lines.
Right. I guess I'm in the middle then. Again, I'm semi-direct. You know,
But,
of
you
course you
know,
should have the knowledge. Of course you should have the knowledge. But what you do with it is the most important thing. Now, I don't hate women at all. I love women. I love Mystery loves women. I love women. So yeah, we are doing stuff. A lot of the game is stuff rewired from what we've heard in set that works that women do on men. You know, like that to keep. So we try and keep them in their comfort zones as much as possible. You know, I'm not going out there to hurt anyone's feelings, to be rude, to be male chauvinist. I'm not. I want them to actually have absolute fun. But obviously, if they step the boundaries, I'm going to call them on that. You know, and I'm going to say what I want in a criteria, as you heard already. You know, so I'm going to be saying what I want, and I'm going to be letting them have an opportunity to say what they want too. So I believe in some of it, the red pill, then, if that's what it is, and some of it I don't.
it's a whole rabbit hole that's kind of
I
different.
bet. That's why I've not really gone down it that much, but I guess
Yeah.
I should at some point.
What would your first steps be
We
to
were on
help?
Michael brought on a Rolo Tomasi
Oh, right.
on on a podcast we were doing, but he was only on for a short period of time. And also Owen Cook told me to listen to both his audiobooks, which I did twice. Well, the first one twice, second one once. So yeah, I sort of got a rough idea, but that was a while ago. So I sort of get what you mean. Yes. So I'm not going as deep as that on things. I'm not like, well, she said this, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to call her on that just for the sake of calling her on it. I'm not going to do things like that. I want
Hmm.
to keep the game as fluid as possible as I can, but I am going to qualify them for sure.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. There's a lot of you said it like they say call her out on that behavior. Like what is your version of this? Because I don't see this in like associated. It's like is that even a thing in our bubble? I don't know, like call out her behavior.
Unless she's really, really rude for no reason, I'll say you've dropped something. And they always look down and I say your manners. And then I'll leave. But apart from that, there's no point really. I'm not trying to be mean to women, That's only extreme circumstances. It's more good for the students when they're like, she was so rude to me, you know,
Yeah.
just so that they can feel they've got some line of defense. But really, if they're using the stuff we're teaching, it's just flowing really naturally. So
You
it
don't need
seems
to
natural.
confront women. You just need to
No,
socialize with them.
I mean, I'll give you one of my direct openers where I remember seeing this Russian in a club where we used to do loads of events when I was at PUA training, like 20 years ago. And we were running a place called Tiger. And
Oh, fuck that place.
after,
God damn.
yeah, it's
I hate
horrible.
it.
But in 20 years ago, it was okay, right? But then after that, it just went. But we used to get a free room there. That was the point. We got a free room there. But the women in there were quite bitchy. And I remember there was this Russian woman, and she was very beautiful, right? And men would come up and they wouldn't even get close. She'd be like, or like, and all swear I could take her off and all this stuff. And so I went up to her, and before she said anything, I went, sorry, my shirt's wrinkled. I've just had sex. What's your excuse? And she went, and I went, shut your mouth. I can see your tonsils. That's really bad. And she's like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Batman. Who the hell are you? Keep rejecting the guys coming up to you. They only want to say hi. So I thought you'd like that. You're in a social environment. Why don't you leave? Because obviously some of them are my students as well. And she was like, oh, well, and she tried to explain herself and we were having a chat. Her explanation was this. Well, I'm testing for guys that if they take my shit test straight away, I'm not going to be interested in them. I want a man to be a man. I'm Russian. I'm going to be a woman. And you be the man, right? So hence I used a direct opener on that. But that showed me a lot, and we went over. It was, rest of history. But on that, it taught me a lot. There was a light bulb moment that, if you put up with shit tests, they're only shit tests. Shit tests can also be IOIs. So see a shit test as an IOI. Don't just insult the woman, right? See it as an IOI and then carry on with your game and see where you get with that. And you're going to have some shocking results. Things times where you thought a woman didn't like you or was just being rude to you, she wasn't. She was just shit testing you.
Absolutely. I've seen that before. I had to deal with that before. It was so
All right,
funny.
yeah, get the spanner in there. That's how Mystery does, with the neg as well. He gets it in there before they can. Or, Ross is really good at qualifying. Qualify them before they qualify you, you know? So get in there first. That's why the three criteria works, where it's really many criteria in that. But I just call it three, not to overwhelm the person I'm chatting to.